you can probably notice, Miss Daisy here is a little bit high up in the rear end. Well, does it have air shocks on it? No, that's not it. Don't have some big blocks in the coil springs. They don't have some big long shackles on it because they don't have leaf springs on it. No, it's up in the air. It's on jack stands because got to do a little bit of work on it. Because last year during the Street Rod Nationals, we were down there and Dylan was driving it around. We were in it cruising around. And it come to clanking and clunking and clattering and making all kinds of unpleasant noises coming from the drivetrain. And what it turned out to be was the center support bearing had just come apart in it. Yes, it has a center support bearing like a truck. And not only because it's a really long car, but because also that it has an X-frame in it with a hole down through the center the drive shaft goes through. So the transmission is mounted solid. And the center support bearing is in the center of the X-frame, right where they come together. There's a center support bearing in there. And that's mounted solid. So the front part of the drive shaft just stays solid in line on the same plane as the transmission. But the second half of it, it has to move up and down with the rear end, like this. If there was a solid drive shaft in there, when that moved up and down with the pivot point all the way up the transmission, this spot here where the X comes together, the drive shaft would hit the top and the bottom of that hole that's through the frame there. So that's why they have that in there. But it failed, and much to my surprise, and made me pretty happy to find out, you can buy these. And they're not crazy expensive. They used them in a lot of different GM vehicles. So I have one on the way, and we've pulled the drive shaft out. Sorry I didn't film that. Just kind of jumped under there and started doing it, and then I realized, I should have filmed this. But we're going to start now. We're going to put new U-joints in while we're waiting on the center support bearing to come, also referred to lovingly as a carrier bearing. I don't know if it carries the flu or if it carries the measles or shingles. I don't know what it carries. But we're going to wait for that to come. And in the meantime, we're going to put some U-joints in. So anyway, here we go. Now, I don't know if you can tell or not, but coming in here and looking at this, I don't know if that looks okay. Might be an issue there. I don't know. Oh, look at this. Look who joined the party. The rest of the bearing. So that used to be part of that. Kind of went like that. This was on here. That was around it. Anyway, you get the picture. Got a new one of these coming. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and orient this onto here, just to leave it like that so we know exactly which way it went. And this is the one U-joint that actually moves really well. It feels good. Doesn't feel like it has any slop in it. Kind of hate to replace it, but we've got the drive shaft out. It'd be silly not to. These, on the other hand, these kind of have a bit of a, right there, they probably would last, but a while. But in this one, it's the same way. Kind of stiff. And what is interesting about these U-joints is that two of them are like this, and they have the external clips on all four. The front one at the transmission, the one here in the middle that's next to the carrier bearing has all of them on the outside. This one back here is a combination U-joint. It has externals on the drive shaft and internals on the yoke where the straps go. Don't actually most likely need clips there, but it's a combination U-joint, which is, they're out there, got some of them in the Rambler. But anyway, yeah, the ones in the Rambler are, the one in the back is half Chevy, half Ford. It's a hybrid. But anyway, that's a whole different story. We've done been through that. We're going to continue on with this. We're going to go ahead and change a couple U-joints. Well, my battery died, and I just kept rolling on with what I was doing and didn't know it. So here we are. So what I've got done, you know, I couldn't even get these clips in. So when I went to put this U-joint in here, and I had it in there, trying to put these clips in there, they would not go in. There just wasn't room. The U-joint overall dimension was too big. So what I did was I took all the bearing caps back on the surface grinder and I ground 5/1000ths off of them. Actually, I ground 5/1000ths off of 2 of them, and I had them all on there at the same time. I touched off on them, and by the time I got about 3 off, I started touching the other 2. And so I've got about, I don't know, about 5 off of 2 of them, and probably about 3.5 off of the other ones. So I actually got the clips on the other side, but they didn't want to go on. They weren't happy going in there. They were actually kind of pooched up in the middle because they were jammed in. So I decided to go ahead and dust them a little bit, the other ones too. So now we're going to go ahead and try to put this U-joint in, and hopefully the clips will slide in there like they're supposed to. I think we're in pretty good shape. We're ready to put this drive shaft back in, because we have this, our new center support bearing came. Looks better than this one, a lot better. So not bad. Glad this was still available, and the bolt holes all line up. I mean, all the measurements are right. Rocking and rolling. Went on there quite nicely. Now, hold on now. Gotta make sure I got my dots lined up. There we go. I don't know if there's any balancing that was done to this in the past, but I'm just trying to line everything back up just in case. There's 3 dots there. 3 dots right here. Yeah. Appears there's a little clip right here blocking off one of those splines. I'm assuming, yeah, there's a wide spline in there. Let me show you that. So see this clip right here, it's got to match up with that wide spline right there. So I'm glad that I marked everything to make sure it goes back together the same way it came apart, because it leads me to believe that it would have thrown the balance of the drive shaft off and possibly caused a little new vibration. Not a good vibration, Marky Mark, but a new vibration. So I think we're ready to put this thing back together. Get this Cadillac back on the road, styling and profiling. Oh yeah. honking nut on it. That's about all that crescent wrench wants. That's as big as it will go. And we're going to torque this nut to exact factory Cadillac specifications. Had to have a special tool to do that with. So, luckily we have it. Alright, let's tighten this up. Good and tight. And here is the special tool. Exact specifications. Alright then. Let's put this drive shaft in. Ugh. I'm going to try to slide under here on my man dolly. Oh, snake bug. Yeah. Yep, there's a lot of them. I smash them. That's just the way it goes. Alright, so this is going to be a challenge. Oh, I hurt my shoulder. I fell on the ice when we had the ice storm a few months ago. And man, lifting something up like this, it just hurts like a toothache when I do that. So we're going to try to slide this up through there. Let's see what happens. So far, so good. Center support bearing is facing the right way. Now I might have to get up in here towards the front of the transmission and guide this yoke a little bit. Looks like it. Yeah. There. Okay. So far, so good. Get some light on the subject back here. Well, looks like it started in the tail shaft of the transmission. Just gotta. There we go. Alright. Slid up in there. Now we gotta watch for these bolt holes on the center support bearing. Be lined up. Oh, it's pretty close. I think we might have them right there. I'm not used to this. It's going pretty easy already. I'm just waiting for something to happen. Oh, these bolts are pointy on the end so that they can help you line it up. Let me take a look again. Moved a little bit. Oh, there it is. Well, got that one started. If I just hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I don't think I'd have believed it. What happened that easy? They're not in there yet, folks. One of them started, the other one ain't started. Come on now. It wants to. And I want it to. I mean, so we're in agreement. If we can just follow through. You know, I like getting the rust all the way, not just on the eyeball. But the goal is to get it on your eyeball and then to roll all the way up to the back of your eye where the optic nerve is. I mean, you just can't get no better than that. That's what my goal is. We'll see if we can get it there. The second one just ain't wanting to start. I don't know why. Let's go ahead and tighten this other one up and see if it'll pull that one back around to an angle that makes it more happy. I got the Manuel ratchet. The Manuel hand tools. I've been waiting on this shoulder to heal up on its own, but I just might have to have it looked at. I don't know. I've injured my shoulders a few times, and they got better. But I am getting older, so I'm not sure if it's going to work out that way this time. Might have to go see the old medicine man. That's lined up pretty good. Let me see here. See if I can give it a little encouragement. It ain't starting too easy. And it sure is lined up good. I should have ran a tap up in that hole before I put this in. But I ain't that smart. And talking about rust again, don't just aim for the eyes. Don't just give up if you get in the eyes, because there's lots of other places you can get it too, like in your ears. All the way down in the eardrum. So you can actually hear the rust still crackling. It's rusting. it Stanley don't stop rusting. And when it gets that close to your eardrum, you can hear it. And, you know, so aim high, folks. Aim high. Loosen that up a little bit. We just might have to waller these holes out a little bit. Just a little. I mean, it don't take much. Oh, that might have started. I think it did. I don't know how that happened. I mean, I did it exactly the same way as the time before. I'm going to start that time. But it's in there now. It's going in. I know, I must have just shifted my mouth. I wasn't holding my mouth right, I guess. You know, some Cadillacs made pretty good. It's pretty cool, this X-frame design. Makes it tough to put it on a lift, though. You have to throw some pipe across or some boards or something when I lift it up on the lifts. Because I do need to get it up there because there's a lot of stuff I need to pay some attention to. Easy. Quiet down there, little lady. There's plenty for everybody. You don't want to over torque it. You just got to put the proper amount on, which is go ahead and let this thing down off the jack stands, and we're gonna ride into town and grab us some victuals. Back a little bit so that I have room to put the battery in it. So the black one's hot and the red one's negative. Makes perfect sense. I think that's right. It's been a while. Yep, that's the way it is. Red's negative, red's ground, and black's hot. I know this takes a minute to pull fuel up, so whenever it's been sitting a long time, I always like to go ahead and stick some gas in the carburetor. Go ahead and hop in there, dear. Okay, yeah. Alright, well, let's sit there and run for a little bit and warm up. Straight back, front yard. full tank of gas in 50 years, first bath in 50 years, I say the car feels a little bit better. So let's get some ice cream.